Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well. It's your main man Anil coming live once again for Inner Line Fitness Podcast. How's everybody doing? Today is episode 6 of 2026, and today's episode is going to be about persistence being the key to weight loss success. I'm going to walk you through persistence, how to develop it, and what this means for your weight loss journey. So let's dive right in. Guys, young and grown men, I'm sure by now you've hit some roadblocks in your weight loss journey. I'm sure by now you've found that you've been going for this goal, you've been really trying, and you've been encountering failure a lot of times. But I just want to tell you guys that persistence is the number one key to weight loss success. And here's why. You see, anytime we're going for something great, we're always going to encounter temporary failure. And the thing to keep in mind is that failure is temporary, it's not permanent. The end goal is there, it's in sight. We may make mistakes, we may hit roadblocks, we may not necessarily have things go our way every single time, but if we learn from our mistakes and we get better each time, persistence is the number one key. Persistence means you have the courage to go after it, and it doesn't mean that you're not scared, you don't have fear. It just means you act in spite of fear. You have the courage to get back up and go after it again. You see, anybody who did anything great in the history of life, in the history of this world, whether it's business leaders, even people in fitness, they did it with persistence. How many business leaders have you known that started their own businesses and made losses in the first year, but then went on to become so successful? It's because they didn't see those mistakes and those failures as permanent. They saw them as temporary, and they did not allow themselves to be defeated. You know, it's no different with fitness. You might be having a tough time right now. You might be finding that you're not losing the weight at this exact moment, but that's possibly because you're isolated and you don't have a second opinion and you don't have someone who can hold you accountable as a coach and look at it from a holistic, broader view to say, this is what you need to do. Because a lot of the time when we don't ask for help of others who have actually been through this and actually have had to do these things and succeed because the circumstances meant so, it meant that we kept on failing and we just couldn't see our own mistakes, because a lot of the time we have blind spots when we go for something over and over again and we really don't know why we're not getting through, and we just hit that roadblock enough times and we just say, oh, I've had enough. But I'm telling you right now, if you give up now, you will not succeed in going after what that is for your life. If you give up now, you will not go across that bridge, you will not climb that mountain to get to the best version of you. Because young and grown men, anyone who's watching this right now, I know you're watching this because you're fed up and tired, and I also know you're watching this because you know deep down you're meant for more. You see, a lot of us are guilty of beating ourselves up. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, how could I have done that? How could have I allowed myself to do that? And I'm guilty too, guys. I'm going to walk you through a story that happened this week so I can relate it back to you and so that you can see some vulnerability from your main man, Anil. So I had a very busy day at work on Monday. I was in 3 hours of meetings, and naturally I was overwhelmed and stressed, and my head got done in through all that talking and, obviously talking at me. And, afterwards I was like, oh God, I'm all disillusioned. And I went for a few biscuits. I'm not going to lie, I went for a few biscuits. I had a tea, I had an apple. The apple just didn't seem enough. I think maybe my sugar's depleted because I had so many meetings in one go and I was overwhelmed. And I went for three biscuits. And then after the fact, like we all do, I had that guilt of like, oh, what if I didn't go for that biscuit? Oh, why did I do that? Oh, I failed the week. And I got in my head exactly like that, exactly like I'm sure a lot of you are doing at this moment, where you're going after your goal, you're not finding that result that you want, and then you go and have a takeaway and then you beat yourself up. But it happens, guys, it happens. But instead of continuing to beat myself up, what I did was I took a step back. I said, okay, look, I relapsed. I made a mistake, but tomorrow I am not going to have any junk food. I'm going to get back on my path. I'm going to eat clean and I'm going to manage my stress, because it's in that moment where we're stressed, that's when we tend to relapse and make those mistakes. But I showed persistence, and at that exact moment, I just remembered exactly who I was and who I became on this weight loss journey when I made that decision 15 years ago to lose weight. And I think to myself, crikey, am I getting in my head about this now? Look how hard I had to work to lose all of that weight. Look at the man I've become since losing all that weight, making that decision when I was a young kid. And the hunger that I had as a young kid is still here today. And that's why I call it the inner Rocky. Because anytime I get too normal, anytime I feel like I'm stale, anytime I feel too comfortable, anytime I feel bored, anytime I don't feel extraordinary, anytime I just don't feel good enough, I remind myself that I am the inner Rocky, and that's the inner warrior within me. You see, I tell you one thing that has changed about me from before COVID to after COVID, and in terms of just going after my goals, is that before COVID, I would have taken all the hits and I would have been like disillusioned. Whereas now, ever since COVID, the difference is I'm willing to take those hits and give those hits back. This is why I box, and this is why I train to Creed 2 and Creed 3 training montage, because the message is it doesn't matter how many times you get hit, as long as you hit back and you get back up and you keep fighting, you will get to your goal. And eventually, you see in Creed 2, Creed gets up, he gets in there, and he gets in the tires and he gets in the close range boxing and he spars and he knocks the guy out. And so he does it. At the start, he's sparring and he's getting punched and he can't seem to get an edge away. But once he comes with those body shots, he learned from the sparring sessions before and he got back. And this analogy can apply to you guys. Right now, you got to hit back. When you're getting hit, when you're taking L's, you got to learn how to get back up, to get back on your square, to put your guard up and go again. You see, what it's about here in Align Fitness is it's about accountability. It's not about tearing down other men. It's not about making you feel less than. We don't tolerate that kind of behavior over here in Align Fitness. We're here to help you channel your inner lion. Now, I want you to look at this at a broader view. Let's just put weight loss to a side right now, young and grown men. I want you to think about a time in your life where you went after something so many times and you just kept hitting this same roadblock over and over, but eventually you broke through. I want you to remember that feeling about something else you did where you finally broke through and you felt good. How did you feel at that moment? I want you to assign a hero and a warrior to that feeling that you had right there. I want you to assign one of your archetypes, your warrior archetype, to that feeling. Now you could name it after somebody you look up to, like I did with, Sylvester Stallone in a Rocky. But I want you to think about it. What are you going to name that identity? What are you going to name that warrior? Are you going to call it Superman, in a Rocky, Lion, whatever you want to call it? I want you to think about who you became after you got through and you accomplished that goal. Now I want you to apply that same energy to weight loss, to have the persistence to say, right, I don't have to do this on my own now. I have the help of an accountability coach like Mr. Anil, who's been through this and been through the complexities of a journey that is weight loss. You see, with me, my circumstances and my life experiences meant that I had to become the inner Rocky. It meant that I had to do it. Because if I didn't lose the weight, I would have had severe health problems being 305 pounds. If I didn't lose the weight, I would not have battled back and came back from poverty, from not having. If I did not lose the weight, I would not have started this business to give back to all you great people. So I want you to understand that weight loss was a necessity for me because of my circumstances and life experiences. And what you'll get here in Align Fitness is a mastermind, because you're going to be working with me, the accountability coach, who can walk you through exactly where you need to make those improvements to finally lose the weight and to push through. And one thing you're going to learn about persistence is on the other side of it, you get the gift of knowledge, the jewel of learning from your experience and doing better next time. And then when you get hit with that same challenge, you're going to be able to navigate through much better because you're getting better and better each time. And with someone like me helping you through this journey, you're going to overcome your current identity and channel your inner Rocky, your inner lion. This is what it's about. Guys, I hope you found this podcast very inspirational. I hope you're ready to get back up and to keep going. Guys, this is the Write Your New Story course. I can do coaching for $29.99 on the gold course, $19.99 on the silver course, and $14.99 on the bronze course. DM me at immunityforcommunity at Gmail, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Inner Line Fitness. As I'd say, everybody, channel your inner Rocky.